Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine Crafts. I hope you are well. Oh, have I got a humdinger for you today. I am going to show you how to make this absolutely stunning card. I'm so pleased with it. You can hear it, can't you? You can hear how pleased I am with how this came out. I didn't know how it was going to look, and oh my goodness me, I am so happy with how it turned out. So if you want to know how I made this, look at the vellum on the bottom, muting it. We've got sentiment from my signature collection, but I'm going to show you where the dies are from, how I've used them, and I'll show you how it's made. I picked up this die when I was at the NEC recently, and it's Craft Dies by Sue Wilson, the Creative Expressions one, and it's the Wild Rose cover plate. And although it's pictured on the front portrait, I decided I wanted to use it landscape, and I wanted to use two of them to create a sort of frame. So that's the attempt I'm going to do. And I'm also going to use vellum because I love the look of vellum when you use it to I don't know what the word is, dull down or mystify, not mystify, to give that a different impression, you know, as you go through. So as you can see, it's an all-in-one die, and you can see where some of my cards still got stuck in there. Blimey, get that out. And it's got a frame built in, so if you want it bigger, then you're going to have to sort of cut it a bit bigger and then paste it back in, but it cuts out the frame and it cuts out the image. So I'm going to cut it out of Centura Pearl. So I've just cut down a piece of, gosh, I've cut that a bit snug, haven't I? But I think it's going to fit. Oh, look at that. And this is one way you could, if I'd have made that a little bit bigger, I could have then put it back in to create a frame. So look, that is absolutely perfect. Not an ounce wasted. That's what we like to see. And it's quite a detailed die. And so I'm going to use all my plates and cut through it. Centura Pearl coated cardstock, no problem whatsoever. So let's put it on the cutting plate. All my plates, magnetic plastic, and that one. And then we're going to pop that through. So let's get that through. So when we have a look at that, oh, look, you see it's cut out, perfect frame. So if I did want it a little bit bigger, I'll show you in a minute. I could use that. So let's just push this back through and I'll show you how it works. There we go. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look how well it cuts. They're lovely. I've never had a problem. I've always found these expressions dies, creative expression dies, cut really, really well. So this is, well, it's about 300. Is Centura Pearl 310? Gosh, it's a year. I've forgotten what the GSM is now already in that year. I think it's about 310, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so there we go. So I've got that. Just poking out those little bits. Remember, it's coated cardstock, so sometimes it catches. So that's the sort of way it was pictured on the packet, but we're going to use it that way and that way. Isn't it beautiful though? Really pretty. Okay, and I just need to get rid of all the bits out of here. Now, as I started poking these out when I was getting prepped, I actually thought I could do some paper piecing. So that's what we're actually going to do, but not with the blue bits. If you wanted to keep all these blue bits, you could then maybe cut it out of white, cut it out of black. That would look really nice, wouldn't it? And post these back in. So it's a really good way to get more than one look. Is, you know, do one thing and then, you know, you keep your waste and use it. So I could cut this out of black and then just pop all these pieces back in where inside the frame. That would look really, really good. So just get rid of these. I was going to stop the video, but I was still talking to you, so I just carried on. Right, okay, and that's it clean. Perfect. Let's get rid of those bits. Now, the next one I want to do, because I just told you I'm going to do some paper piecing, is I've got a piece of, I forgot what they called this now. It's just like a sticky back cardstock. Hold and release sheets it was called, and I know Crafter's Companion don't sell it anymore, but what you could do is just get a piece of card and spray some low tack tape on it. I'll pull that off. So that's just very slightly tacky, so I can pull that off like that. So like I say, get a piece of card, a bit of low tack spray on there, and then I'm going to pop a piece of white card on, and I'm just putting it to there so I can see where it is. And then I'm going to cut this out of there. Now, because I don't want to cut all the way through, I only want to cut through the paper at the top, the white, just regular white cardstock, nothing fancy. I only want to cut through the top. I don't want to cut through the bottom. There'd be no point doing that. I'm actually going to take my magnetic shim out. I'm almost going to try and get my die cutting machine to fail, so not to cut all the way through. So plastic shim and second cutting plate, and I'll show you what I mean. So that's cut through. I'm going to have a look at this. And can you see it's not gone all the way through? I can see indentations, but it's not cut. And that is absolutely what I want. So I'm just trying to do that so they don't fall. And so then I can lift this out, and that sticky piece, oh, it's not holding them all. Some of them are popping up, but that's not a problem. I can just poke them back in where they're pulling out. Let me just take that tape off. Now, a lot of people don't use the hold and release sheets. They just do it onto their cutting mat, and that is equally as good if that works for you. I just really like these when I used to demonstrate them. I just find them a really good product. Just helps if you like to do paper piecing, and what you see I'm going to do in a minute, it really does make it a bit easier. But like I say, you can effectively make your own just from a piece of card with some low tack adhesive on. There we go. Right, now, so I've got everything still in there. So all my pieces, oh, there's one come out, and I might need that. So there we go, put them back in. Now I could take the frame out, but I'm not. Now what's happened is it's low tack adhesive, so it doesn't actually transfer to the white card. It just stays on the back. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 ink pads. So if you remember, we've got this one, and I've cut it twice, and I've got a couple of ink pads. And what I'm going to do here, now this might look quite messy to begin with, so I've just got my detailed, well, my makeup applicators, aren't they? And I'm just going to go around the centre with the yellow and around here. And this is a lot brighter than the one I did before. And I'm not worried too much because I'm not using the frame. I'm just using the pieces in the middle. So I'm just going roughly around the edge. But it's much easier to leave it in here and do it. There we go, that's what I want to do on that one. And then I'm just going to get the blue, and just a minute, I just want a bit more yellow on there. Just extend it a bit further, because I'm not actually using those centres. Let's just extend those ones a little bit more. Okay, then I'm going to get the blue, and I've got a piece of scrap paper, you can see, because I don't want it to be too hard to begin with. I'm just going to go round there. I don't want it to, and I'm not even trying to stay inside the petals, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be lifting these petals out, and I'm not going to be using the rest. And I don't mind having a bit of white at the edges. That's absolutely fine. I want shading, I want detail. All the way around. It's so easy, isn't it? I mean, it really couldn't be easier. Like I say, don't worry about going off the edges, and you'll see it'll all make sense in a minute. There we go. If you want to come back in with your yellow, just to brighten it up. I love how I get that sort of green as well. There we go. Okay, right. I don't know how many of those I'm going to use. I haven't quite decided, you know me. Okay, so for this, what I've done is I've cut 2, and I'll show you my other one. And what I wanted to do, let's move that out of the way, is you can see on here, I've cut the bottom bit of frame off. So I found a point that I like, and I'm going to cut to there. I'm going to cut this bit. I'm going to try and keep it in the shape of that flower, that petal rather. And I'm going to come around there, so you can see it's released it. Now, I thought about doing here, and it looked a bit harsh. So what I thought I'd do is I'd come up to here, and then release it to there, and I can just do a little bit of shaping on that one. And there, you can see, it's just a bit neater to do it. If you wanted to do it to the end here, I'd have had lines dangling. So now I've got 2 exactly the same. Can you see? Like that. And what I wanted to do now, when I did this in prep, what I did was I used my spider roll and put it onto the back of the blue card before I cut it. It took a little bit longer to get all the bits out, but that then meant I could get a piece of vellum, and my vellum is just over 5 inches wide, and I can stick this onto the vellum. Now, with vellum, the secret is to find an adhesive that doesn't show. Now, you could use your dotty tape pen. Something like this on the back would work equally as well. You could be using your precision glue press. That would work equally as well. But I just found that using something like my spider roll or double-sided adhesive on the back, look at that, absolutely perfect, and you can't see any adhesive on there. So I've stuck one on. Now you could stick the other one on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. Now I've already just I was trying to cut down my foam pads just to try. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this one on the back. What I'm actually going to do is get a piece of craft card, just because it makes it a little bit easier for you to see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that one on there. Now they do overlap, and that was a conscious decision to make sure they overlap. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue on the coloured side this time. I'm just going to come along here. Now when you're doing dotty tape pen or something like this, you always need to go, you need to go with the direction of the cut, because otherwise you'll scrag it all up. So with this, I wouldn't go that way. I'd always come this way, look, and just keep it flat. Always glue it onto something so that you don't totally stick up your craft table. There we go. There we are. Right. That's not too sticky, actually. So I've got that. And all I'm going to do, so it was just over 5 inches wide. It was just about 5 1/8, but I've done it to 5 1/2 long. So it is just landscape. And I'm going to pop that on to there. There's a bit of trial and error to get the width right. I had to cut a couple of pieces, and I'm going to pop, oh, that one now. I've put a sticky pad on there. I just need to lift that off and then put it back down. There we go. And now look at that. Oh, look at that. You've got the intense colour here, and then the sort of muted colour through there. I think that is lovely. Really, really pretty effect. Now, we've coloured these. As I said, it doesn't add any adhesive to it, but I don't think I'm going to use them all. I'm looking at it now. I just think I'm going to colour a couple of the flowers up. So I think I want to colour this one. So all I do is I peel them off here, and like I said, oops, I need to just, it's taken too far. Sometimes I'm going to take this frame off because I'm not going to use that. There we go. Don't worry about that if it doesn't come off in one piece, because that's fine. We're not using that. I'm just going to pull that off. There we go. I pulled up a segment just in case. Where did that one go? Oh, it must have pinged somewhere. Find it in a minute. That's okay. And I thought I might use this one. There we go. Just peeling it off just from here. There we go. It always makes it easier to lift them up if you've taken off like the outer bit. So you're just left with the pieces you want to paper piece. Now you could potentially use this frame again if you take it off carefully. I'm being a bit rough here, but there we go. There we are. That's going to make life a lot easier. There we are. So now, oh, doesn't that look pretty? Oh, I wasn't sure how they were going to come out, but now I've taken the frame off. Don't those look lovely? Aren't they pretty? I didn't have a look at those. So all we need to do is we peel this off here. There we go. And as I said, there's no adhesive on the back of there. So I'm just going to get my, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dab of glue in each one of those. That's the easiest way to do it. And then I'm just going to pop these off. So peel the next one off. Now the reason I like that is, one, it's made it so much easier to ink these up because it held them in place, but also I haven't got, it's not like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm not trying to look through all of these pieces and work out which piece goes where. This is why I love things like the hold and release sheets. But like I say, you can make them yourself if you want to, or a version of them. But I just thought we'd do this. There we go. Doesn't that look pretty. I wasn't sure how they were going to come out, but I'm loving that. I'm going to do this one too. So let's put some, I don't need to put too much glue in. There we go. That one was just peeling a bit funny. It was peeling some of the hold and release sheet off, so I'll come back to that one in a minute. Where was that one? That one was there. Paper piecing is so relaxing. It's such a relaxing thing to do, and it's really, really rewarding. Yeah, I've done shows with them and I've like, oh, I'm only going to do a couple of pieces, and ended up doing the whole lot because it's just so rewarding. Let's peel the next one off. This isn't as easy as it should be because I've actually started to put my foam pads on the back, but I was trying to, you didn't need to see all of that, you see, so I was trying to be a little bit helpful. There we go, that's what I needed to do. There we go. I think I'm going to finish it. I might come back and put that one in, but for now, that's all I'm going to do. Okay. So as you've already seen, I've started to put some of my foam pads on the back. And the reason I did that was because I needed to experiment with how to make thin foam pads. So what I did was I got, no, it wasn't that one. It was this sheet. It was this sheet. See these foam pads? That's how big they are. Look, you can see if I bend one off, you can see that's how big they are. Let's peel one off. And obviously that's no good for this. So all I did was I used my paper trimmer and I cut them down really, really slim. And it didn't seem to do any harm at all to my paper trimmer. So all I can do now, because what I needed them to do was be smaller than, oops, there's two on there, than this bit. So I've got that one there and that one there. And I think I've got another strip that I've cut. There we are. I've got one here. Let's peel this one off. Like I say, just use my paper trimmer, and that was really easy to do, just to make really thin strips. I did find these Sticks 2 ones, but they were just a fraction too big, too wide. So I just sort of thought, well, if Sticks 2 can do that, then so can I. I'll have to have a look, see if Sticks 2 do a slimmer one even. And I want to put another one over there. I think I could have done with another one actually, but we'll try and make this work. And I'll put another one over that join. It's always good to do one over the join. And see if, can I use that? I think I possibly can. I'll turn it over and have a look before I press down hard. Might be a slimmer one that was on that sheet. Now, can we see any of the foam pads around there? We can't, can we? They're all hidden. That's good. So the other thing I thought, look, I've got some really nice areas here that are covered up, so why not use some of those areas to help support it and raise it. So I'm just going to put these, actually these were what I call my double ones. I've just cut down, just take, these ones are like what I call my 2s, so I'm just cutting them down into 1s, but they're the same height as my foam pads around the edge. So we're just putting that round, just using any sort of covered areas. There we are. And that's holding, oh, that's holding lovely. Isn't that pretty just with that? I think I might need that one. I'm not going to do it yet. I'll do it in a minute. So I've got it there ready. Okay, so we're nearly there. So what have I got ready to put on here? I have got card base. It was a card base for a 7-inch envelope. I've just trimmed it down. And then onto there, we're going to put a little bit of black card. So where's my glue gone? There we go. Not that one. This one. There we are. Just my tacky glue. Just across here. All the way across there. Let's make sure I know which way up I am. And that's going to go just there. I've got some white bits on there. I don't know what that is. Hopefully nothing will show, because it's going to have a layer on. I think that's from when I was just doing some heat embossing. You'll see that in a minute. There we go. And onto that, I'm going to put this pearl. Now, this pearl was just a little piece left. No, I'm not. I'm going to put the blue on next. I'm going to put another piece of the turquoise on. Nearly got them in the wrong order. Doesn't matter how much you prep, sometimes you still go wrong, don't you? I thought that border looked big. I only wanted a tiny border. So there we go. Ah, that's better. I wanted a really slim black border. Now, cutting out those frames in black would also look really good, I think. I do like frames like that. Just pressing that down. And now I can put this on. Now, if normally my top layer in that one, I'd put foam pads under that. Because there's foam pads under this one, I don't think I will. Now, I could have taken the centre out of that card because it's Censure Pearl, it's good card. I just, for now, I didn't bother. But if you were doing a few of these, you could actually take the centres out and get more out of your cardstock. I've shown you how to do that using a paper trimmer. It's really easy to do. And put that one on there. Just make sure it's pressed down nicely. Again, that's a Censure Pearl. It's Snow White with a hint of silver. It was a little piece left over from the card I made for my hubby for our wedding anniversary last week. So yeah, waste not, want not. Every piece gets bit gets used, so don't think they ever go to waste. There we go. That feels really nice and firm. So what I can then do is pop these on. Now this will just take me a minute to get all these foam pads off. Okay, I've taken the backing off the foam pads all the way around the outside. So these foam pads here, if you struggle to get the backing off your foam pads, like I am now doing, then you don't need to take these off, because these pads here are just here to add support, and they will add support whether the backing is on or not. They're not there. Their main purpose isn't to stick the card down, because the foam pads around the edge are going to stick the card down. So I'm not going to take the backs off 1, 2, 3, 4. I've taken the backs off half of them because I don't need to. And then I'm going to pop this onto my card base. And that's going to go, oops. Now you could put a little bit of wet glue on if you think it would help, but you'd have to be quite accurate. And that goes just like that. There we go. Move that out of the way. And hey presto, look at that. Now, I do think I am actually going to put a little bit of the other one on there. Let's just put that. Have I got all the pieces for that one? Yes, I have. I haven't lost any. There we go. So let's just pop this one on as well. I've seen it now and I think it'll really look nice. This is what I love, is when we make cards, it's not set in stone. You can do as much or as little as you want. You can start with an idea. I started with this idea and I wasn't even paper piecing. It was only after I started making the card that I suddenly thought to myself, do you know what? This would look really nice with a bit of paper piecing in. So there we go. And then that's going to go on there. Now, yeah, that really works, doesn't it? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Really love that. I love the pearl coming out from the back and all that. So we need to put a sentiment on, and you'll see I've added some black, and you might think, why have you added black? Because, you know, there is no black. I'm really chuffed with this because when you do it, it doesn't look that good, does it? So one of my old signature collections, Wishes, I've cut it out in white and black, and that's going to go just there. And then I'm going to put birthday. So that is from my Simply Sentiments. I've mixed and matched what I've got. So I'm going to pop Wishes on first. Again, foam pads, 3D glue. You know me, as I always say, I'm happy to admit I'm a very lazy crafter. And for me, 3D glue can be a lot easier than foam pads. I've got wiggle room. I can adjust the height. Yeah, it's just perfect. So we're going to put that. I know it covers up a lot of that from behind, but it's just works, doesn't it? Just really, really works. Then I'm not going to put as much on there. So I don't want that to be, so I'm going upside down because I just need it to be. There we go. And you saw it coming. We need a few gems, don't we? We always need a few gems. So these are on a strip, and I really don't like the ones on a strip. I'd rather they were individually glued. Oh, I like that in the centre of that flower. And then 1, 2 and 3. That's all I'm going to do. 3 of those. And that is it finished. Oops, got a piece on there. And there you go. How about that? I didn't know what I was going to be making when I started with this. I knew I wanted to do the 2 pieces, but I didn't know how it was going to finish. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? I love the teal and the black. It really, really works. I love the flower. Just to remind you, it is the Sue Wilson Creative Expressions Wild Rose cover plate. There you go. And but I'm sure you can get lots of other sort of paper piecing dies like that. But it's cutting into it. It was a smaller die. I've cut into it. I've made it bigger. It's entirely up to you. Have a look at what you've got and see how you can adapt them. So there we go. Right, move everything out of the way. I hope you like that. Please don't forget to come back and watch my next video. I'm trying to build up a few just before Christmas. So thank you for watching. You take care. Please don't forget to click on any of the links down below. It really helps my channel, and hoping to try and keep it growing into next year. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe. So I will be back tomorrow or early next week with another video. So until then, thank you for watching, my friends. Keep safe, enjoy your crafty time, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.